Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very well. It's the weekend and we're back on the VATSIM network flying the wonderful Synaptic Simulations A220 version 1.0.3, which is available for everyone now, which is great. And we've got this, the epic QantasLink Special Edition Aboriginal Art livery installed, which is made by a user called Tank787. But it's a really phenomenal bit of artwork, and thought it would be quite nice to show it off today for this journey. We're going to be operating a real-world QantasLink A220 route to beautiful Wellington, New Zealand, which is going to be very exciting. So, flight time about 3.5 hours. Beautiful scenic approach on the way in, and we're on VATSIM for the whole time as well. So let's hope we get some ATC for as long as possible. We've got ATC here at Brisbane, which is epic. Thanks to VATPack for logging on and providing us with the service today. And apparently just before I started the live stream it pinged up and said we've now been running the channel for 6 years as of today, so it's like a 6-year anniversary stream as well suddenly. Not that I'd even realised, but hurrah. Welcome to all of you wherever you are in the world. Welcome Padgett, Scott, Justin, good to see you mate. Evening guys, Ian, other Ian, welcome. And MPS has got 2 hours left of this flight. Yeah, you took off a couple of hours ago already, didn't you? As always, let me know what you think in the live chat, and especially the livery. It's all linked down below, so if you want to get your hands on the livery, then it should be able to. You should be able to click the link and go straight to the flightsim.to page to go and grab it. Let's dive in.
Welcome on board.
Just going to make sure that I've got the right frequency set up, and do let me know if you can hear air traffic control when we switch across, because I've got some weird gremlins in my computer at the moment. I think the little batteries broke on the you know, the little penny battery that's inside the motherboard. I've got to work out how to fix that. I have no idea. I can't even see it from where I sit. When I was looking through the glass screen, couldn't even see it. Right, runway 19 left is what we're going to plan for today. But it's still the Scott 4 departure, which is mega. We just got to change that in the plan there. No big deal. Go ahead, just do that now.
Hello.
There we go. Done. Bosh.
Brisbane Tower, good day. Radio check.
Hopefully that's a good volume in contrast to my microphone, so do let me know what the volume's like for the tower. But it says on my side of the stream that the feed is working correctly for the VATSIM side of stuff. But I feel like I've got to double check that now all the time. Jason, good to see you from Panawanica. Those of you with the A220, how have you been finding it? How have you been getting on with it? Let's go to the charts. CMOS battery, that's it, Badger, thank you, mate. Right, so taxiing out of the international terminal here, we're going to route all the way down, probably now to 19 left, so Alpha all the way down to the bottom. And then we're going to go down south onto the Scott 4 RNAV. That quick switch there is at or above 600 feet as soon as practicable after passing Bosvu, which is a waypoint just beyond, look, the threshold of the runway really, but not below 600 feet. Turn left, track direct Dadan, and then we route out there, max 220 knots till Dadan, then we can accelerate up through Dennis, Lily, Idpat, Dougal, at or below 8,000, then Scott. Easy peasy. Our routing today takes us over the ditch for this cross the ditch flight, pretty much heading southeast the entire way down to Wellington on the very south coast of the North Island. We're expecting runway 34 for the approach, small crosswind, nice little headwind, and our routing in takes us near towards Nelson over this kind of top end of the South Island, so it should be quite nice.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar on stand 83 is a 737 Mach 8 with information.
Hello, living on a player, welcome matey, hope you're well. What we're going to do is pre-plan this arrival. We can always change it. So I'm going to just flick down to select the approach. Got a lot of approaches available here, so I'm just going to make sure we're reviewing them all. RMP Yankee.
Hello.
What does this waypoint take us to? Umaga. I mean, we could do the RMP approach potentially. Do you guys want to see that live?
This way.
No, or we got the standard ILS there that takes us in to Umaga. I'll tell you what, I won't put that in just yet. We can do that in the cruise and see how we get on. Wind's already done. I've done our waypoints there, look, with the route winged upload, and the fuel planning is already done as well. Performance calculations are yet to be done because I just want to confirm the departure and the runway that we're going to be using today. And I think, let's see, transition altitude's 10,000. David A, welcome mate.
This way, please.
Now interestingly, my SimApp Pro my PAP3 is there. Interesting, that's not working today. That's a shame. I'll set 10. Don't know why that's not working. Very, very strange. All the lights are on. Let's get our clearance.
And Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar revise ready to copy.
Info Delta.
Ready to copy, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
QNH 1.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, you're cleared to Wellington via Scott, flight plan to reach runway 01 right, Scott 4 departure, climb via to 6,000.
They've changed the runway.
1536 departure frequency 118 decimal.
Oh yeah, 01 right for departures. Ooh! I misread that. What an absolute amateur.
Clear to Wellington, runway 01 right via Scott 4.
The arrivals are on 19 right.
6,000 feet.
So basically the departures are over the water, keeping them away. Pretty cool.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar. Oh, Squawk 1536.
Chuffineck, we'll change it again.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, thanks, call me back to push.
It's a good test for the jet though, isn't it? Because we're effectively, we've changed that now twice.
5, requesting IFR clearance to information at Delta on board. Emirates 973, good evening.
Anthony, welcome mate. Good evening, we'll be flying the QLink Broccoli.
Runway 01
oh yeah, I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? I really like it.
Sorry, climb via Sid 6,000.
Properly done special edition livery that.
3260, departure frequency 118 decimal 45. Clear to Sydney, minus NH departure, setting 2 departure, 01 right, initial climb 6,000. Departure clearance on 118.450 is 43.
Couple of weird little stutters there. Have a quick check of what's going on behind the scenes on my computer.
Good evening, it's 695 with you for Lee Dublin, China, from the 1 other right.
Turn all this
And
extra stuff off.
Brisbane Tower, good evening, runway 19 right, clear to land.
Runway 19 right, clear to land, it's 695.
Brisbane Tower, good evening. QLink 281, Airbus A220. I've forgotten what stand I'm on already, which is a really great start. Request clearance to Wellington, please. We've got information Delta QNH 1021 on board.
Station calling, thanks for Delta. I apologise for the fact that I'm about to add to your brilliant start, but would you mind filing flight plan for me, please?
Okay, I'll do it again. How strange.
Thank you. Emirates 973, just confirming 01 right departure for us, because I heard you landing an aircraft on 19er. A firm, we're running simultaneous opposite direction, parallel runway up. It's kind of cool, actually. Cheers. No, it was the first time for everything, Emirates 973. We run them at Sydney as well when we can, but usually the
I
winds.
love that. Absolute rookie error. Right, what stand am I actually on? I've been so busy, it's insane. I think you can tell my brain's already out of steam.
Good evening, Ascot 205.27 on.
Let's try again. Absolute noob. What are we on? Stand 80? Oh, I even wrote it down. Oh well.
Ascot 2205.
Thankfully, we like to set a really high standard.
You're cleared to Wellington via Scott flight plan route, runway 01 right.
Jesus.
Scott 4 departure. Climb via Sid to 6000.
Have I got a...
1377, departure frequency 118.45.
Yeah.
Ascot 205 is cleared to Wellington via Scott 4 departure.
I know, Ian.
6,000 feet initially. And sorry, say again the squawk.
Oh dear.
1377.
Gary, you're not sure, matey?
1377.
It's a big old trek, so I need to take quite a bit of time off, don't we?
Ascot 2205, thanks.
Brisbane Tower, good evening again. It's QantasLink 281, A220, stand 80, Airbus A220 with information Delta on board. Request clearance to Wellington.
QantasLink 281 Tower, good evening again. You're cleared to Wellington via Scott, flight plan route, runway 01 right, Scott 4 departure. Climb via Sid to 6000, squawk 1420, departure frequency 118.45.
Thanks, bit of a rookie error earlier. Cleared to Wellington via the Scott 4 departure 01 right, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 1420 and departure on frequency 118.45, QantasLink 281.
QantasLink 281, thanks.
Bloody ripper.
Yeah, g'day, Jetstar
11845.
Gate 79, Airbus A321, requesting IFR through to Wellington with information Delta on board.
Jetstar 811 Tower, good evening, thanks for Delta. You're cleared to Wellington via Scott flight plan route, runway 01 right, Scott 4 departure. Climb via Sid to 6000, squawk 1367, departure frequency 118.45.
So, 6.
Cleared as filed, runway
Alright, Falcon,
01
welcome,
right,
mate.
Scott 4 departure, initial climb to 6000, squawking 1367, QNH 1021, and departure.
So that's because Brisbane approach is also extending their bandboxing, Scott. So even though on VPilot you just see Brisbane approach 1247, they're actually extending 4 different frequencies, including departures on 11845. Some cool processes going on here today. Right, so the departure routing is complete. That's done. Initial climb 6,287. Let's go APU start. Seatbelt signs and ting. And let's go. Overhead panel looks good. Where's me?
All stations, Brisbane information. Echo now current. Changes the wind 170 degrees, 04 knots, max. Correction 170 degrees, 04 knots. Temperature 14, QNH 1020.
Performance planning, yes. I knew there was something. Right. Insert FMS and wind. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Flaps 2, packs on, thrust config auto. Calculate. So we've got thrust takeoff 1. Flex is blank. We've got 134, 139. Actually, hold on. 7 to FMS. Then we can clear that. That's much easier. Right, what do we got? Outside air temperature is 14. And that wind was 170 at 4. Climb 2, NADP. I'm going to change this to 1000. Lovely stuff. Bleed engines. Slat 2, flap 2. Anti-ice off. Service speeds. Cruise. Departure. Transition is 10,000, so we're going to put that in. And while we're in this box, I'm just going to flick over to the charts later. Transition altitude, transition level, sorry, into New Zealand is 150. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in advance of us doing anything else on the box. Execute the changes. Lovely jubbly. Right, I think we are looking pretty good. Just as a rebrief, because we've changed the departure again. Very short taxi this time to 01 right via Alpha 9. heading off 3.5 kilometres of runway to use over the water, and then again, as soon as practicable but not below 600 feet, turn right, track direct to burn, and then we climb up to 5,000 at or above. Kakeb max to 40 knots, and then we go round Ibumu at or below 8, and then Scott, and then we're away over the water. Right, I think we are caught up. That's all good. Just get rid of invalid speed. 4 start checks. Departure briefing is now complete. APU and external power is as required. Doors closed, lock beacon. Right. Let's go GSX. Prepare for push and departure. While that's going on, we're going to go tune menu.
Emirates 973, push approved.
Not tune menu, sorry, we're going to go CNS. Transponder TCAS. ULK 281. That's on auto. Transponder code was 1420.
Answer 695, did you have a safe choice?
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Roger, thank you.
That's done. We'll be able to go in there and change that again in a wee while. We'll go back to map mode. I'm going to bring that range ring in a little bit though, just so we can see more clearly what we're going to be doing for the departure today. And I'm going to select nav, VNav,
Tower, Osprey,
Toga,
Yankee Oscar, stand 8.
buttons activated, which again, as a reminder folks, you can click that screw there, a little bit like the PM to G737, or you can go and press the physical switches,
Push approved. And Squawk Charlie for me.
which are these ones here.
Push approved, was Squawk.
Don't have any
Charlie,
keybinds.
Osprey, Yankee Oscar.
We are squawking mode Charlie, good, check. Okay, beacon light on. Get rid of the music. And Brisbane Tower, QantasLink 281 is fully ready, request push start.
QantasLink 281, caution the Boeing, Osprey Boeing to your left, push approved.
Roger, caution the Osprey traffic to the left and push approved, QantasLink 281.
Answer 695, continue taxi Bravo Charlie 6 to the bay, connect.
I want to face north,
Charlie, Charlie,
tail south.
Release parking brakes, please.
Tower, Oscar 205, fully ready, request push and start.
All brakes off.
Commencing push.
Ascot
All
220.
engines clear.
Ollie, no worries buddy, how are you finding it? Incubus, good question, you could just press it once matey. You could just press that screw once if you want. Hold on, where the hell am I going?
205.
I asked for tail south. Oh well, we'll trust it.
All on you guys to separate yourselves. Good luck.
Put the logo light on, just for good measure. Alrighty. Okay, engine 2. We've got to go ignition, engine start auto, ignition 2, engine on. Ah, Justin, no! Oh, it doesn't like that view. Yeah, it doesn't like that view at all. Let's just move back a bit, see what it does. Maybe it's banging against the tug. The good news, I guess, Justin, is you should be able to get through some quick refresh.
At Paul Humphreys 68 donated £10 through Super Chat. Carry on, _BVXBVX.
Hey Paul, thank you buddy, appreciate the super chat. Very kind of you, thanks very much. Thanks for being with us for so many months. Here come those epic sounds. Made by Echo 19. Yeah, it's a cool liver, isn't it, Alexander? Welcome. Good stuff.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Give her a wave. Thanks very much. Engine 1 start. Benny, g'day. Thanks for the ATC, mate. Hope you're well. Those of you who might not have seen it, as of yesterday, we pushed a massive update to all of the Osprey Airways schedules, and we've launched a bit of an entirely different schedule system, actually. Still a UK focus, naturally, but we have more of a hub and spoke style of network connecting more places around the world with very, very cool routes, to be fair, stretching into every continent effectively. So if you haven't gone to check that out yet, go and have a look. And Tapsy's also updated the 777 liveries that were still outstanding, the 777-200 livery and the freighter that he created. They're now converted for MSFS 2024, which, as always, very nice. Flaps 2.
Emirates 973, taxi holding point Alpha 9, runway 01 right.
Control checks.
Taxi to Alpha 9, holding point short runway 01 right. Emirates 973.
Performance. Ashley, welcome, mate. Snapchat 4.2. Lovely. Rudder trim set neutral. Flaps, slats 2 and green.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, request taxi.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, taxi.
Auto thrust is active and armed.
Bravo 9.
Taxi Charlie
Taxi
10,
wide narrow.
hold short, Bravo 9, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
And QLink 281, request taxi.
QLink 281, hold position.
Book our hold position 281.
Brisbane Tower, just 811, gate 79, requesting push and start.
Jetstar 811, hold position.
Holding position, 811.
Quick check.
Tower Oscar 2056 taxi.
That's good.
Ascot 2
Got breakouts here.
NT205, follow the Emirates 777 on Charlie 9, hold short, Alpha 9, runway 01 right.
All from the Emirates and hold short Alpha 9, runway 05.
Did he call me as well? Probably not tailwind for this.
Brisbane Tower, Emirates 973, approaching Alpha 9, fully ready to go.
This.
Emirates 973, just what I wanted to hear, runway 1 right, clear for takeoff. Cleared for
Busy.
takeoff 01 right, Emirates 973. Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, give way to the Ascot 737 in front of you, then continue taxi holding point Alpha 9, runway 01 right.
When the 737 passes from my left to right, continue taxi to Alpha 9, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
Link 281, taxi holding point Alpha 9, runway 01 right.
Taxi Alpha 9, hold point 01 right, Q-Link 281.
Emirates 973, contact departures, adios.
Departures on one, I guess, 45. Thanks very much. Emirates 973.
Benny, no mate, this is 1.0.3.
That's the way, Casca. 5.
Sounds phenomenal. Okay, that's all set, that's all idle, that's all good.
Brisbane Tower, Jetstar 811, still waiting for that push to start.
Jetstar 811, apologies, push approved.
Push approved 811.
Ascot 2205, runway 01 right, clear for takeoff.
Super gentle on the brakes, look at that.
Ascot 2205.
I'll brake it on. So from so 1.0.4 should come out on Tuesday, the 11th. That's what I'm hearing. From then, allegedly, we should be able to get New Sky compatibility within that, unless there's other things like engine state not fully working.
Good evening, Jetstar 825 at 1025. Request aircraft clearance to Sydney.
Jetstar 825, Brisbane Tower, good day. You're cleared to Sydney via Saneg flight plan route, runway 01 right, Saneg 2 departure. Climb via SID to 6000, squawk 7201, departure frequency 118.45.
Okay, to Sydney via the Synaptic 2, expect departure runway 01 right. Initial climb 6,000 feet.
There goes the RAF 737 Poseidon, P3A, 737.
Ascot 2205, contact departures, bye bye.
Departures, thanks very much. Ascot 2205.
Jetstar 825, apologies, just confirm squawk 7201.
Well, I'm finding it alright, mate, if I'm really honest.
118.45.
7201, 118.45 for departure.
And I've been taking it to some heavy locations,
Jetstar
like
825, thanks. Break,
Brisbane
break.
version 2 from Orbex, for example, is a really heavy frames airport. It's never been particularly well optimised, but it handles it pretty well.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, report ready.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, fully ready, sir.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, thanks. Line up, runway 01 right.
Line up, runway 01 right, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
And tower Q-Link 281's ready, I'm reaching.
Q-Link 281.
Look at that livery. Phenomenal.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, keep it rolling, runway 01 right, set takeoff.
Good takeoff, 01 right, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
Sure has, Justin. Hey, Tank, welcome. There he is, the painter himself. Good to see you, Matt.
Jetstar A220 ready for push and start.
Jetstar A220, just confirm squawk mode Charlie for me, please.
Jetstar A220.
I feel like VRAM is going to be the big deciding factor in regards to performance on this aeroplane.
281, line up, runway 01 right.
Line up 01 right, QantasLink 281. Strobes. Bring the noise.
Jetstar A25, push approved.
Little squirt of juice. Keep her rolling. Nice. Doing well, thank you, Matt. How are you? Great effort on the livery. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, contact departures, sayonara.
Departures for Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar. Thank you, good evening.
And Brisbane Tower, Jetstar 811 requesting taxi.
When we get on the ground at Wellington, if there's anyone left behind us, because everyone's in front, we'll try and put the chase plane touchdown dynamic camera thing to the test, eh?
Alpha 9, 4 departures, 0.
Alright, final checks. Oh, we're on way out here, that's all good. That's set. 2 green set agrees, that's all good. Before taxi.
QantasLink 281, you got 45 more seconds, hold in there.
Roger. Before takeoff checks, AP bleeds off, FMS is set, trim set, flaps 2 and green, anti-ice not required, order brake is RTO, ICAS information checked, thrust is checked, runway 01 right is confirmed, and cabin is already secure. Let's go. That's all set. Lovely jubbly. 6000, nav, VNav, auto thrust, toga. Let's get it all on.
QantasLink 281, runway 01 right, set takeoff.
01 right clear for takeoff, QantasLink 281, thanks. Do a little bit of actual steering now, rather than the good views. Auto thrust green. Power set, 80 knots. V1. Rotates. V2. Positive right, gear up.
And Brisbane Tower,
600 feet, turning.
To part from Brisbane, we're hoping for an immediate departure runway 01 right. Jetstar 811.
Over the port.
I can do brake. QantasLink 281, contact departures, bye-bye.
Wilco, thanks to the ATC, have a good night.
And it's direct to Scott, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar.
Brisbane departures, good evening. QantasLink 281's through 2,000 feet, Scotthorpe.
QantasLink 281, g'day, Brisbane departures identified, climb 5
That's one.
level 180.
Climb valid SID, flight level 180, QantasLink 281, hello. Climb via the SID, flight level 180. So we should, in theory, get a managed mode for 8,000. We can see it sat there ready to go. But you know, think of it like in America where they say like descend via the star. You still have to meet the constraints. Flaps up. Look at that, what a departure. So max 240 knots is in the box as well, good. We're going to go taxi lights off. That can all stay as it is. Reset the next frequency. I forgot to resync the heading bug with our direction of travel there, which is pretty naughty for the departure, so I'll do that now real quick. I'm just going to keep an eye on this because we're through 5, which is great.
2205, there's no further ATC to the east. The frequency change approved. Have a good night. Yeah.
Roger, thanks so much, sir. Let's go 205.
Line performance. Okay, after takeoff checks, we're all green, ICAS checked. Now we've got to move over here so we don't accidentally press auto thrust disconnect. And we're going to have high altitude climb checks shortly because our cruise is through at flight level 50, so that's one thing to bear in mind there. So we should level off in a second and all the way until a BMU. VNav alt capture. There we go. And it should maintain 240 till CACEB, then accelerate to 250.
Yep, there's also no further ATC to the east. The frequency change approved. Have a good day, sir.
Going to the dark side, Osprey 3 Delta, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye bye.
See ya.
Brisbane departures. G'day, Jetstar.
You see the other modes are armed now, thrust and the VNav flight level change.
01 right, and climbing to flight level 6000.
Look at that, handled that wonderfully.
G'day, Brisbane.
I've got to do that fly past again.
Flight level 180.
That noise.
Fly the SID 180 for Jetstar 811.
Bingo. Where's that other view we had a second ago? Oh. We had one a second ago, it was level. Pretty epic. So that's acceleration to 250 knots now, so it's gone to the next speed constraint, and we're still at 8,000 until a BMU there in 20 miles. And that is climbing via the SID. Remember, if we just get the charts up real quick here, we've got the departure outbound here, look, 016 direct to burn, mal at 5,000, CACEB max 240 knots. So we've achieved those, but the next waypoint all the way down here is at or below 8,000 feet at a BMU. So, climb via the SID includes meeting that constraint requirement there of 8,000.
Q-Link 281, the SID track direct Scott.
We'll go direct Scott, Q-Link 281. Unless you get, like that, a direct to, or instruction by ATC to climb. Okay, bosh, there goes the throttles. Got to prime my screenshot mode again. Hold on. Yes! Taking so many screen grabs. Okay, through 10. Seatbelts automatic. Genesis, is it worth buying? I really like it, mate. It's got some bugs and quirks with it, but nothing that spoils your enjoyment of it, that's for sure. Okay, through 10, standard. Push standard for the standby instruments. Hey, look at this. That's the screenshot I managed to just grab. Hey. Got that one as well for the rotation. Got a few already. Look how good that looks. Actually, while we're here, what are we doing with the climb outs for everybody? So MPS is already like well ahead. There he is. He's flying the Osprey Holidays 777. Same routing into Wellington. Going to be very tight for him in a 777. Very, very short runway. And then we've got Ascot 2205 ahead of us, and Ian 3 Yankee Oscar. There's Badger flying along as well. He's flying Qantas 747-8 Brave into Wellington. And then we've got Justin Jetstar 811 in the A321 as well. There he is there, parked up. We were next to him on the stands at the International Apron. I believe that's the pack today. Yeah. Mega. Incubus, yeah. They move like in a Boeing. That's the thing, it's a bit weird, right? It's...
Feeling 281, there's no further ATC, we frequency change approved. Have a good day, Guru.
Hey, over to advisory, thanks very much to the ATC, have a great evening. Q-Link 281, good night. Big thank you to VATPAC. It's always really nice having ATC for the departure, naturally. Yeah, think of the aeroplane a little bit like a patchwork quilt of like the best of Boeing, the best of Airbus, and the best of Embraer, and a little sprinkle of CRJ, Bombardier CRJ, because it was originally a Bombardier C series. But kind of think of it as like all of those 4 different kind of worlds of aviation or styles of aircraft manufacturer blended into one aeroplane, and it's absolutely bloody brilliant what they've been able to create. I was surprised, actually, with its capability and everything else. I'm surprised British Airways haven't ordered a load, or had like Vueling order a ton instead of the 737s, because it's superb. Right, we can continue our climb up in Unicom now, so we'll set 35. Justin said, yeah, how was that? That was this morning. Sorry I never got round to getting the award done though, Justin. I've just been running around everywhere trying to do a million things, as always. I ran out of time yesterday. But yeah, VATSIM, VAT USA teamed up with VATPAC for a Friday night Down Under special, where instead of flying around like Boston, for example, they did a load of us Aussie hops, which is really cool. I can't remember if there was a way to hide this tablet. Ooh. Oh, I'd not seen that yet until now. That means there's one behind here. Ooh. Look at that! Those are great looking blinds. Yeah, Ollie, I find it's a little bit wobbly when when you're steering down the runway using the rudder, and even with me with a separate tiller axis now, I find it a little bit wobbly. It's not terrible, but just something to bear in mind. There goes Australia. Yeah, I'm working on redoing all of our base parking those of you who fly for Osprey Airways, do you still want parking at Heathrow Terminal 3, for example? Because that's what I'm setting that up again for that with a newer document. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. And you might have seen the announcement on Discord yesterday, but we did totally redo a ton of routes. I didn't put those adverts there. Interesting. But this is the new kind of route map. So instead of being on New Sky trying to find very specific routes, but only it showing what's available now, not really the true network. What this does is it shows the entire route network that we've redesigned. And you can see this hub and spoke pattern. So we've got feeding out of the UK down to Johannesburg, Brazil, Atlanta and Memphis. Memphis being cargo, Atlanta being US passenger ops. We've got a little base at Athens to feed you around some beautiful Greek islands. And then we've got a little base of the UAE, one in Tokyo Haneda, and then we've got the new one down at Sydney as well, feeding a little bit more strategically around Australia and New Zealand. So a bit more of like an interlinking offering, really. You can scroll on this britishavgeek.com/route map. You can click what's available, so you can see very specifically what is available right this second now. Or if you want to fly, for example, the A340-600, we can go ahead and type that in, search network. And then we got 350 different flights for that. As you can see there, 350 matches. But if I want to look ahead and go, well, what about tomorrow for flights? We can click that. Flight length. We want to do a long haul of about 6 to 9 hours. We're narrowing it down further, look. And then what you can do, you can just hit random route if you want. And it will then say, well, what about this one here? Gatwick to Nairobi. And then you can just click it. It takes you straight to New Sky. You can go schedule passenger, Osprey Airways. You can take 176 Alpha. Click aircraft, A340-600. Book, done. So the idea is we make this as simple and as epic as possible. I mean, this whole network is just super dynamic. If you want to type in up here in the search, Cape Town, fact. You can see what it's done is it's gone, oh, well actually there's only one route here that's 9 hours plus in flight length, and that is Manchester to Cape Town. I might add Heathrow to Cape Town on that. Curious to hear your thoughts. If you go any duration, you can also see the little domestic link in South Africa from our hub at Johannesburg. Same with Mauritius, FIMP, all schedules. So we've got Gatwick to Mauritius, and then we've got Johannesburg to Mauritius as well, for that shorter operations around the Africa region. But the map is dynamic, so you can kind of just like type about, you can have a real good explore, you can find what you want to fly the most, or you can press that random route and it will take what filters you have, or if you haven't set any, it will look at the entire network and then we'll just like pick one at random for you to go and fly, which is quite exciting. So if you don't know what you want to fly, but you want to fly a schedule with Osprey, then you can do it that way. All part of trying to take what we did in that survey back last month and kind of build that into New Sky, and that route map there isn't a feature inside New Sky. So what we've done is we've built it onto the website instead, britishavgeek.com, so you can go and actually look and use that as a resource. But it does mean what I need to also do is update like the base parking documentation, all the rest of it. Ian says, can we stay put at Manchester? For us peeps on Mako Sim, it won't matter about taxi on new taxiways. I was shifting us to the new terminal, to be totally honest, on the parking document, but you can still use the old terminal that's closed as an alternative, and you can with the GSX profile make them so that it's bust, so they basically turn up and get bust off, which is what happens in real life now anyway, because they still use those stands. Oh, you know what I forgot? Where is it going to be? I keep forgetting to install their new map software. I've got the beta map server, which I assume is the 480p one anyway. But I keep meaning to install the new one. They need to integrate that somehow, because it's just so easy to forget. Hey Ollie, thank you mate. Appreciate the super chat.
At Holly 7123 donated £2 through super chat.
You're
Thanks
more than
for
welcome,
the amazing
mate.
content and all your advice.
This one's a cool one, right? On symbol, range alt cell. So we've selected 350, and it reckons, look, we get the banana. See that? So you can add the banana to your A220 if you want, which is super exciting. So if I just now move that to 380, look, you can see the banana move. Ah, Justin, no worries, mate. Do you know what the cause might be? That's a whopper of a crosswind. 87 knots. Ian, good afternoon. Welcome. Yeah, I can't believe we've been going now, as of today, for 6 years. It's phenomenal. It actually says it unexpectedly got in the start of the FNO madness. Starting an hour earlier, still had ATC from start to end. Melbourne to Canberra. Nice to have full ATC for a change. Yeah, certainly around there when we fly UK time, it's quite often too late in Australia, isn't it? So we don't end up getting that full ATC. Very exciting. Same aircraft as previously, Justin, or something? Have you used something else today? Sleep away. Good afternoon. There's the livery. 6 years in, I know. 6 years and much less hair than when I started. Scott Trick. Well, if anyone is going to FSIM UK in Bristol in October, I've booked to go, so I'm going to be staying in the Village Bristol, the Village Hotel Bristol. It's about a 10-minute walk away from the venue. But they're on about having a big meet up there, so organising like a massive meal and a load of drinks. Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it, really, because the sim got launched. It had a bit of a weird time with COVID. But like you said, Ian, it gave kind of flight sim a massive, massive global boost, didn't it? I reckon that even people that were never into flight sim because of COVID got into it, and then you kind of fall into the rabbit hole, don't you, of flight sim then, with hardware, high quality, high fidelity add-on aircraft, all that sort of stuff. New Sky's not giving you an option to spawn back. Ooh. What aircraft were you in? It sounds like you've had like a, within the simulator, you've had some sort of like Sim Connect failure and all sorts. Have you restarted the sim? Phoenix A321, very strange. If you restart the sim, then you should be able to get, that's when New Sky will go, oh, there's been a sim crash or a sim close, and then it should give you the option to restart where you left off. Oh, this is a quick question. In the setup, I had a message on the PFD saying FMS perf departure config in yellow, but I wasn't sure what was missing. I had set up the firm. Yes, so that is a there is a feature in the jet whereby even if you after engine start, you push back and all that, you've got your flaps set, your trim set accordingly, and everything else is as it should be. If your APU is still on, you will get that performance config warning. So just something to bear in mind. It's probably that you've pushed back and started your engines, you've got everything else set up, but your APU is still on, and that message is basically reminding you to turn your APU off. I mean, I'm having an absolute blast in this aeroplane. It says it all, doesn't it? When actually, I think the last 3 or 4 streams I've done, it's all been A220 ops, and we've smashed out 8 tutorial episodes for this now. More recently, the RNAV approach tutorial video that went out into beautiful Hamilton Island as well, for what it's worth. Get out of the way. Appreciate it, Ollie. What's that arming pin doing there? Have a quick look in the EFB. It's just maybe a feature in the living room. Not in the living in the livery. Definitely a rabbit hole. Ian says, my last sim was Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000. 2020 came along. I was playing it using an Xbox controller. Fast forward now and I have almost a full wind control setup. Yeah, definitely a rabbit hole for you, mate. Indeed, Ollie. In fact, I think I saw somebody raise it as a bug without realising that actually they just opened the toilet door, not the flight deck door. In fairness, yeah, COVID and me breaking my leg at work in COVID was what got me back into flight sim. Otherwise, I'd never have bothered. Because I think, like you, Ian, my last sim was Which one had Concorde and the 777 in it, Makersfield? I think it was Flight Sim 2000. That was my last flight sim. And I'd not touched a flight sim since. Yeah, it was Flight Simulator 2000 with a Concorde on it. Absolute classic, that. That's as high def as we get. Released 13th of October 1999, and in the UK, 12th of November 1999. Those were the days, the Concorde and the 777. And all you could really do, I think, was, I remember flying Makersfield to Chicago O'Hare, and that was it. And I think you had to get loads of map packs to like make it go further and get more coverage, right? Aviation 0507. Mate, I personally haven't used Volanta for probably like a year and a half. I've been pretty much all just using elevatex.app. It was brilliant. Really, really good. I find it's a lot less resource intensive than Volanta. Typically a hell of a lot more stable. Just going to quickly go on to New Sky because I want to just double check to make sure. Right, I'm just going to feed this into New Sky. So 1245 Magvar, 49408. Nice pitot. How about APU? Ooh, that's going to stop it going on New Sky. Flaps over speed, power external true. The last version recognized the engine states. Synaptic. See what it does. I fed that into Synaptic to say, look, I think there's a thing with the engines not syncing properly. Because when I looked last time, maybe if you start on the ground with New Sky from the off, it recognises true, false, for engine 1 and 2 on or off. But currently they're both shown as off, or false, which obviously is not correct, because we're well in cruise. Battling one heck of a crosswind. Stu says I'm using FS Hub as a tracker, it's always running in the background. Let's see if we can dynamically change our cruise performance to Mach 80 on the fly, constant Mach. Look at that, done. How fast can this go? Mach 8.2? Oh, hold on, I haven't got traffic on. No, I have got traffic on. I suppose because you guys aren't shown on TCAS because you're not an active threat as such, or maybe my range ring's too high. Cancel that to get rid of the little blue square. Anti-ice and wing ice off. That's ticked, so that's our flight level 350 and above. Cruise checks completed. Descent and approach checks are next. I recognise it, Ollie. Turn external VFX off. Try that. Yeah, because all the other ones aren't really a thing. Maybe external VFX. That's the. I mean, that's the other thing. If you guys are going to be getting performance issues, turn external VFX off. Not actually sure what it does, to be honest. Synaptic Sim A220 external VFX. Custom animations and textures, blah. Engine and heat blur, detailed exhaust heat haze and startup smoke effects. Custom calibrated LED landings, taxi strobe light splashes on the ground and fuselage. It doesn't say which ones are actually. I think their visual effects are things like light plumes, the way the LEDs kind of wash over everything, improved contrails, heat blur. I think there's not finding anything specific. There you go. Version 1.0.3 before anyone starts screaming in the iniBuilds forums. My chase plane settings are mounted and rigid, so it's not that either, including the pilot view. Weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what to suggest there. It's a flew around Europe holiday ops. You had to read a paper map, then input the route into the FMC. I don't think I ever used SIDS or stars. Was that recent? You see the longest flight at the moment that's being run at the moment is, where is it, on New Sky. Stuart Dixon departed midnight, well yesterday 2 minutes to midnight, and he's going to be flying all the way through to 10 to 5 this evening. 16 hours 40 minutes with a very carefully planned loading and fueling flight plan with step climbs in his A340-300. He's flying from Johannesburg all the way to JFK, which is one heck of a journey. Yeah, mine takes a bit of a time, Justin, as well, to be fair, but I've got a hell of a lot installed, to be fair. Not as long as msfs 2020 used to, though. I reckon it takes 6 minutes, 7 minutes. msfs 2020 used to take me about 25 minutes to load. It was really bad. The modeler, welcome. Keen to join Osprey Airways. What's the process? Good question, matey. So, let me get you the link. You want to go to this website here and sign up to New Sky. Join the New Sky Academy and fly one flight with New Sky Academy. And that's just so that you can learn how to like book your flight, plan your flight within New Sky, looking at the scheduled system and things. And then complete the flight, close it, and then you get your first log so you can see what it's assessing and what it reads, how to do all of that sort of stuff really. And then if you get a score of above 6, which is more than reasonable and very easy to achieve, you can then go into the Airlines tab, search Airlines, and you'll find Osprey Airways in the clicky bit there, in the search. Then you'll be able to join Osprey Airways and get flying. All of the liveries, everything like that is on BritishAvgeek.com. At that link there. And this one, which I'm just typing into the chat, that is our special, the new route map that we launched yesterday with our brand new schedules all on it, so you can see everything all in one place. Yeah, nice. Oh, in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000. Yeah, I don't think I ever really got into it. It was the last flight sim I ever used, but I just remember doing like Concorde, Makesfield to Chicago O'Hare, 777 Makesfield to Chicago O'Hare, and then there was nothing else. A couple of like helicopters with auto rotations and things, but yeah, nothing else as such. And then I just got kind of fed up with it and gave up. I don't think I ever understood whether or not there were like scenery add-ons for it from back in the day either, to be honest. I don't think I ever installed any. Ollie, no worries, matey. That's more than fine. I mean, if you're good and confident with Beyond ATC, you'll be more than decent at VATSIM. Because I find Beyond ATC still gets, like, a lot of these AI things still get things quite wrong. They don't give you quite the correct runway or anything like that. Good evening to you there, Modeler, all the way in New Zealand. Welcome. No worries at all. We've got loads of, we've got some new schedules around Australia and New Zealand as well. We've got some tours you can go and explore parts of the world in, all that sort of stuff. What we hope to achieve with the new schedules as well is we get a little bit more traffic around the Africa region, because it's really underexplored on Flight Sim, right? There's some spectacular scenery all over the entirety of the region, right? But if we look at Europe right now, that's VATSIM traffic on Europe, and there's a load of Osprey Airways flights in there at the moment. America's starting to get busy, look. But then we look at South Africa, and actually that's fairly busy. A nice little bit of traffic going on around there. And then we look at Africa, look. And look at that in comparison to Europe. And even Asia. Asia looks like it's got quite a bit of traffic going around it at the minute. But Africa, you've got phenomenal scenery for La Reunion, Seychelles, Tanzania, you've got Zanzibar, you've got Windhoek in Namibia, you've got Nairobi in Kenya, and you've also got Mombasa as well on the coast. The name always slips me as well. That's all included in this sort of region down here. And you've got beautiful Cape Town, which is phenomenal, really great Johannesburg scenery. You've got some freeware for Durban, Port Elizabeth. There's a whole lot to go and explore around here, which is really nice. Walvis Bay's got a really good bit of scenery as well. And then you've got a few up here as well around Accra, Abuja, Lagos. That's all covered via VATSIM Sub-Saharan Africa. That entire bit of Africa that you can see on the map, pretty much there, minus like the top bit. Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia, for example, they're not covered, but everything else, Kenya and down, all the way across to Mauritius. And then like drawing a bit of a diagonal line up here to Nigeria, up to here, GVAC, Cape Verde. That's all VATSIM Sub-Saharan Africa. And there's so much scenery out there. Hey, Ramiz, welcome. Ramiz made it into a video yesterday. The chase plane update at Johannesburg. Landing with his Emirates Sky Cargo. Yeah, a bit of a typhoon around Japan. Yeah, I saw that as well on the weather radar. Looked cool. There you go. You can have a donut in the chat, Ramiz. There's your royalties. Thank you for your service. CH Products Flight Yoke 1999. Oh wow, yeah, old school. It's funny, isn't it? Because beyond the Honeycomb Alpha, the design hasn't really changed that much when you compare that to that CH Products Flight Yoke 1999. Thrustmaster, HOTAS 2000. My goodness, did they actually have that out back then as well? Surely not. The T-Flight HOTAS X from Thrustmaster. When did they launch that? I don't know if it was that. I'm trying to find what I had as a was it the T-Flight HOTAS 4 or something like weird like that? No, because they were designed post Xbox, weren't they? I remember having like a little HOTAS, but I just can't remember what it was. Ollie, I just have default weather from the sim. It's better than people give it credit for, to be totally honest. People have got this obsession with buying like Rex Atmos and all this other stuff, but in reality, they're really not needed. Ram is nice. Are you flying? Have you booked a slot for Cross Africa? By the way, if you're flying with Osprey Airways, you are hopefully, if you're able to, but there's still some slots available for Cross Africa. For, is it the Saturday the 29th of August? I'm waiting to see what I get as a tower controller. Eagle Game, welcome. Can you show me how to insert a hold? Check the live chat, mate. That link there will take you to a dedicated tutorial episode that I've done purely covering holds. It will give you everything you need to know there, including flying it, entering it, making changes, exiting the hold, all that sort of stuff. So that'd be the best place to watch that. Was it the Microsoft Sidewinder 4? So maybe it was a Microsoft stick. Yeah! It was the Precision Sidewinder Precision Pro 1999. I'm pretty sure it was this, the Microsoft Sidewinder Precision Pro. Look at this bad boy. Back in Flight Sim 2000 days. Pretty sure I had that. No, that's the 2. It's the Pro with a couple of buttons on it. Does it have a? Did it have a? Oh, standby. Microsoft Sidewinder joystick. I remember it having like a little throttle on the front or on the side. Maybe it was the force feedback too. Yeah, this one. Sidewinder joystick. That's what I had. And I used to hold the base with my left hand. So I could then use the throttle and then use my left thumb to like operate the throttle and then use the right hand for the actual joystick. Yeah, that was the box. Look at that, retro. 30 quid! Taking the mickey. Look at that, some advanced stuff right there. Well, that's in good nick. That's what I used to have back in the day. Nice. I don't know when we find out what he still uses that. Justin's still struggling. Please set 0 if you wait on New Sky via the EFB. They're doing that. New Sky not liking it. Have you got screenshots in? Put it in lounge, mate, and then let's have a quick look. How close are we to that? Oh, 40 miles. Loads of room. Bit of coughing corner going on here, look. What does it tell us actually in our... Does it give us like an optimum cruise? Optimum altitude 370, but that's what he's operating at. That is our max as well. Did SimBrief tell us to climb at any point? Let's have a quick look. LHI. I'm just going to do a quick fuel check as well. LHI. Lord Howe. 7.7. So we've got 120 kilos of fuel less than we expected. Thankfully, I actually loaded an additional 30 minutes, just in case. Yeah, I mean, they were the days where you'd have to go into game to buy your stuff, wouldn't you? Or Comet or PC World, back before the days of Curry's, like Dixon's Retail taking it over. Temporary flight plan. Just telling us to sit at 350 for the entire time. Alright, we'll do a little step climb. Do a very smooth, gentle step climb at that. 400 feet per minute. Passengers will barely notice. South Africa Airways did have A350-900s. And then they leased them all out to Air Mauritius. Yeah, that's brutal. I love that. You got your priorities right then. Oh, no way. My favourite place in the world. I've been twice, but absolutely love the place. Not been for quite a few years though now, unfortunately. No worries, Justin. Sorry, mate. Sounds like you've got a gremlin somewhere in the computer. Hopefully you get it sorted, or maybe it'll have a bit of a rest and it'll be fine. So, was it 2016? 2017? 2018? I forget. Was it 20? It'd have been 2018. We went to Mauritius the very first time. We went to the Maritime in Balaclava, Rami. And then in 2023, I think it was. Post-COVID, we went to Zilwa Attitude, which wasn't as good. Still nice, still like superb, but we would not go back there again. On to go. How many of you in the chat use Just Flight's Fly the Line, out of curiosity? Would you find it beneficial if I created a CSV file that you could export, which was specifically for Fly the Line to build Osprey Airways schedules from? That'd be useful. Bacala, my goodness. What's the recovery like for that? I hope you're doing well. Nice, man. Where are you nowadays then? The Zil attitude was more like Grand Gorb, so like the north, slightly northeastern coast, or like northeast coast. But after we went to the Maritime Resort in Spa and Balaclava, they then had a massive refurb. And then they added like 5,000 or 6,000 pounds to the price of one holiday, which is insane. That was like nearly the cost of us going the first time. How long until you can operate rudder pedals in Flight Simulator? Hopefully you won't be waiting too long for that. Hey, it's good you got the twist axis though. Is it just general wear and tear, or was it some sort of trauma that's caused it? don't mind me asking. It says, remember the ATC in Microsoft Flight Simulator 1998, just a scrolling banner at the top of the screen had zero correlation to the 3 or 4 dynamic traffic planes that only spawned at Meigs Field. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of sims, was it? The thing is, at the time, it was like pure excellence, wasn't it? And no one knew any different. So people were blown away with how immersive and how incredible it was back then. But I mean, in it would have been just 20 years later. Look how insane this is for a comparison to what it was like back then. Yeah. And we've used that ever since, as real as it gets. General wear and tear, fair enough, yeah. Affects people, some people more than others. And it very much depends on what sort of jobs you've done and things as well, eh? The main thing for you is going to be that rehabilitation afterwards. You've got to ensure that you are super focused on that physiotherapy. Ian's enjoying the trip down Flight Sim memory lane. You know what I do remember? Absolutely loved Combat Flight Simulator. Oh, Justin. Bloody hell. At least you worked it out, though. That's a good spot. Yeah, same for me, Ian. It was a very distant memory from what msfs 2000 used to look like. I remember it being a bit blocky and not very well detailed, but yeah, msfs 2020 just instantly blew my mind with the graphics and the fact the entire world was open, because I remembered being in Flight Sim 2000, I didn't have any expansion packs, so it was just that Chicago area that was available to me from what I can remember. So to have the entire globe was just like, I couldn't comprehend that for a few months. Very nice. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get somewhere really cool like Joburg for dual runway ops, or I might get given like Cape Town or something, but effectively they'll just tell you where you're going to be based and tell you what slots you're going to operate for. But I don't know when we find out. I'm hoping I get a decent tower position anyway, at the very least, because well, new tower controller. Very exciting. Scott says the first stream on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 after his msfs 2020 sim cacked it on the Madrid to Stavanger stream. Was able to use the YouTube footage to put the business case for the purchase with the missus. Good effort. Yeah, Combat Flight Sim was brilliant. I remember like buzzing around, like it was like proper. I think it was properly good, wasn't it? It was like full-on dogfights through cloud, Spitfires versus Messerschmitts. It was that. In fact, that is what I ended up steering into. So that's what stopped me using Flight Sim 2000, is because Combat Flight Sim came out around that Europe pack around the same time, I think, from memory, and I ended up flying on Combat Flight Sim instead, doing a load of missions. There were loads of really good missions on that, but then like the Battle of Britain style started just superb. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And actually thinking about it, that is what stopped me using Flight Sim 2000, because it just got stuck with like not very much ability to fly anywhere beyond Chicago, whereas Combat Flight Sim gave you a lot more from the off. To be fair, we're probably not that far away from it, Ian, are we? That's the thing. Like, I reckon we'll be this time next year. We're going to be getting warmed up for Flight Sim 2028, maybe. It has to be, right? Flight Sim 2020, Flight Sim 2024. The accountants are going to want their money's worth, aren't they? So. Justin can't justify the shift, not fan of cloud-based software. The problem is, they're not going to go back, are they? That's the caveat there, is they're going to fully commit and they're not going to back down from it. So all we're going to see effectively is more and more and more transition into cloud-based. Certainly for like Flight Sim 2028 is only going to probably double down more so than what 2024 already offers. I wonder if people moving away from the marketplace might make them think it's not a good business proposal anymore. Well, the thing is, anybody on Xbox and anyone else on PS5 have to use it, don't they? So they've got a substantial market nevertheless, and for them, they probably don't give a damn about the poor quality on there, in reality. Hey Christopher, welcome. In 2028, Justin's going to have a PC with an Intel 17990 CPU and an NVIDIA 8090 Ti. Yeah. And it'll probably be a computer that will sense that you're logging on for flight sim and auto start it for you as well. It does make you wonder where they're going to go with it, doesn't it? Are we, for example, going to get one day, we'll be flying in the sim now and it'll be like a... I mean, this would be a car crash if they did something like this, but imagine flying now and then you'd get pop-up ads, flight sim with ads for free, and if you don't want ads, you have to pay $5.99 a month. But I think that would be the end of the franchise if they did that, quite frankly, because I would stop immediately as well. I wouldn't flight sim anymore if they did that sort of nonsense. But you know, if I can think of that, then I would almost put money on the fact that they've had that discussion. Where can we make it? How can we get more profit for the shareholders? Ads for VPN popped up on the PFD. Could you imagine? Christ. It would be carnage if they tried something like that. You can imagine the uproar. Rightly so as well. Ashley says, I'm already bothered by the upgrade your plan blatant advertising that appears on every Microsoft Office window now simply because I have not purchased the Copilot AI version. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Even opening Word today, it popped up with like, would you like Copilot to do this for you? And I'm like, no, Copilot's absolutely crap. No, I do not. Take your Copilot, shove it up your backside. I mean, I have to say, ChatGPT Plus 5.6 Sol, that has been quite impressive. That's the only reason why I've been able to get something like that world map on the website actually created and connected properly, because beyond very basic HTML of making some like pop-up cards and things for a web page, I'd reached my limit basically. So for them to have bought out that instead is just phenomenal. %, all plausible, sadly. But like, yeah, how many of you would stop simming or switch to X-Plane if that happened? And probably most of us very quickly, right? Jasper, welcome. Still flying 2020, got 2024, but afraid my graphics card can't handle it. Got a Radeon 9070 XT. That's quite a new graphics card, isn't it? How come it doesn't run msfs 2024 then? Is it not within the minimum spec? Hello Tapsy, welcome. I have an announcement. Why do I feel like I'm going to get blindsided with something? How was your holiday first? Hopefully you had a good time. Hey, the Osprey livery for the A220 is ready. That's epic. We're going to have a whole load ready to go for Tuesday, providing the update means that we can unlock it on New Sky. Good stuff. Glad you had a good time. I need to have a conversation with you about, or work out what that crack is with the Hughes hub as well, actually, thinking about it. Good to get to the bottom of that. Work out if everything's going to be shifted to Hughes hub, I'll need the new links so that I can update the website accordingly and things for the liveries. And actually, think realistically as well, having the ability. I mean, Zato's the same. Zato's never taken donations and refuses to do so, but having the ability to create like a little donate button specific to the livery creators that help would be quite good. So if people did want to go and tip you guys for your work, then they can do so via an easy to access link, more than kind of having to click all the way through various websites and things first. That'd be nice to do, I think. Oh crikey, yeah. Ian, do you think PMDG would charge to upgrade to Microsoft Flight Sim in 2020? I think most, I reckon nearly all of the developers would. And there will be medium-sized charging. It won't even be like small fees. I would expect big jumps of like $10, $15 or 15 quid. I reckon. Because they'll claim major changes and all that sort of stuff, won't they? That's the thing. And every single developer will do it. It won't be exclusive to them. Because for them, it's, you know, it's a business, isn't it? It would make sense to as well. I mean, why wouldn't you? Good MPS. Did you park okay though? There aren't many places to park there. Certainly 777 anyway. Park on stand 26 mixed taxiway in B5. Weird GSX. I've installed that GSX profile though. Did the rest of it look okay? We don't need a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2028, but we're going to get one, whether we like it or not. Or maybe not a Flight Sim 2028. Would they wait for Flight Sim 2030, maybe? Would they think, yeah, would that be like a strategic decision to think, well, actually, that makes sense? The thing is too about the Flight Sim 28 idea is that I don't feel like there's been much development in 2 years on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 yet compared to MSFS 2020. Development of the core sim has felt rather stale. Yeah, I do agree, but then that's where in my mind, I think in the background, is that because they're not actually prioritising either 2020 or 2024 at the minute? Are they already deep into the new sim, and as such, a lot of time and effort is going into that secretly? I don't know. Playing devil's advocate and being somewhat cynical, which I'm great at. Reef, good to see you. Evening. Thanks for subscribing. I'm actually flying the 777-300ER from Melbourne down to Auckland, flying the All Blacks Air New Zealand livery. Very nice. Are you on VATSIM? Fair enough. Well, have you checked out my tutorials, Reef, for VATSIM? They're quite old, I'm quite a few years old now, but the principle is the same. What you should do is connect to the VATSIM network as an observer for a little while, and then as you're flying along, tune in as you go, because you'll be able to like you'll hear the comms more, get exposed to it more, and find that you'll pick it up a lot quicker. I reckon the LIvery, and I reckon he's also a subscriber. He's found out about his coursework and he's knocked on his door. Yeah, what do you reckon then? Bets on for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2030. It would make sense actually, wouldn't it? MSFS 2020, MSFS 2024, MSFS 2030, because they can dress that as a big rebrand, a big new sim, and then MSFS 2034. Yeah, all that actually. Yeah, that's a good point. While you're flying along, Reef, you could go onto the VATSIM radio thing on the internet. Just tune into random stations and listen to the comms. And then you can practice it that way, because Beyond ATC and Say Intentions are great, but they're not perfect. They get things wrong. They also get people in a weird habit of actually selecting the wrong runways sometimes, because that will prioritise a specific runway that actually in VATSIM you wouldn't use because of a preferential runway system or whatever else. And it gets some of that wrong at times. I haven't tried either for a very long time though, to be fair. We would have said that back in the day. The thing is, we can't. I mean, look at this kind of like sunset thing going on now. It's quite phenomenal, isn't it? What this sim can actually achieve. Jamie Gray Music, welcome. Say, I'm thinking say intentions or beyond ATC before jumping into VATSIM. Well, do consider this though. VATSIM is free, and the other two have prices associated with them. So, do think about that before you make a decision. Not saying do one or the other. They're both very good. Osprey Airways pilots get 10% off say intentions. Worth pointing that out as well. Are you guys going to want nighttime arrival into Wellington, or do you want to see a little bit of like this sort of weather now, sunrise, sunset? Because it's going to get dark so fast. I set time less late than I thought it would have been. If that makes sense. Well, later than I thought I had. That's the better way to explain it. Living on a Player says, I had say intentions for a while. You did. I remember you saying a lot. You were using it a lot. Enjoyed it for the most part, but found myself ignoring it on most approaches as it would often vector me in and leave me far too high for final approach. Yeah, it just doesn't... It offers immersion in a really good way, but a lot of these AI platforms just don't get the descent phase quite right, and they don't get the preferential runway system quite right either, so they will have you flying approaches for runways that aren't really the ones that are in use in reality, nor on VATSIM, for example. So it might be that I will open up Johannesburg and I will have a tailwind of 3 knots on, I don't know, runway 01 right, or 26 left for arrivals and 26 right for departures, and there'll be a tailwind of like 4 knots or even 5 knots, and I'll keep that runway in use. But what you'll find, a lot of these AI programs will go, oh, that's a tailwind, and it will then just switch the runway. And I've had it before, not at Joburg, but at other places where people are flying in using say intentions for their flight. They then arrive into like Johannesburg Tower or wherever it might be, and they've set up for the complete wrong approach, and they've ignored the VATSIM ATIS because their AI ATC platform tells them that the other runway should be getting used. It's a bit of a weird kind of blend of the two worlds. It doesn't quite get it. It doesn't get it quite right. Edinburgh to Bergen, yeah, that is the best route that anybody can use for learning to fly on VATSIM. I stand by that as well, Ian. Single runways, just a handful of SIDS and stars, nothing too complex. Mega dark. Davis's arrival at sunset timing. How long? It's just arrival time 14:53 UTC. Bloody ripper. Don't mind your eyes, team. I had no idea if that's the correct time. We'll play around with it nearer the time. We'll keep it daylight for a bit. Yeah, it gives people enough time, like you say there, Scott, as well, for the guys that are learning VATSIM to get out of Edinburgh, take off, settle their nerves a little bit from that stressful departure. Not that it would be stressful, but you know, people find it stressful. And then you settle into a bit of cruise, have a breather, go through your charts, prepare for your approach, think about your descent, double check everything in the aircraft, then you commit to your descent in. It's a nice way of doing it. And then we chip away at the confidence, or the lack of confidence, become quite confident very quickly operating on those flights going to and from Edinburgh. Yeah, but I forgot today. I made a mess of the departure, didn't I? That's the thing, and that's what a lot of people get worried about, understandably so, or naturally so. Is that, you know, if I make a real big mistake on VATSIM, I'm going to make myself look stupid. But there is nothing to worry about. Clearly, I mean, I made mistakes today, and I'm a VATSIM controller. I should know better. And in Canada, Liminal Player says most airports have simple departures. Yeah, like the Vancouver 5, where you just take off, fly runway track, then you get direct to your first transition out on the Star, and away you go. Same with like Chicago. Is it O'Hare 5 or something like that, isn't it? Just that omnidirectional kind of radar vectors style of departure. Jeepers. 524 on the list for VATSIM training for the UK. It was 824 in March. Oh, that's come down a lot actually, hasn't it? Is that people dropping out though? Or is that people just progressing through training? Got to get my track sorted out here. The Navigraph. Got quite a way to go. We're doing well though. I've been working. Let me show you guys this and load it all up. Is there faint ticking in the audio coming from the right? It's gone now, Sleepyway says. What sort of ticking? From the stream or? Hey look, I've just noticed a discontinuity here actually. Right, what are we doing weather-wise? We'll just start putting in some arrival procedures. Right, arrivals, 8 knot headwind, runway 34, Wellington. So we'll stick to the plan, which is via Gullet, and this long old arrival, which is the Simsy 8 Alpha arrival. It's going to bring us in through Gullet, Simsy, Cracker at or above 5,500 feet, where we'll go over the top of this north section of the South Island, past Nelson and Picton Airfield, working in through the little channel there between the two islands of New Zealand up towards waypoint Mida. And we're going to be following this bit here of Mida because of our arrival procedure. And from there heading 070 degrees through Jonah, Umaga, and then inbound to runway 34. Now, do you want to see the ILS procedure, or do you want to see the RNAV procedure? Let me know. Because we're going to be on CTAF anyway, so we can do whatever you like. While you're thinking about that though, I'm just going to flight plan. Arrivals. Start putting some of this in. Sims at 8 Alpha. Transition Gullet. And now we need a decision. I haven't done a nighttime landing. No, we're gonna change the time to be like a evening, like sunset. Particularly good into Wellington. Unless anyone says other differently on the chat, I'll do an ILS runway 34. From Umaga. Have a quick look at the old plan mode. Go away, top down user interface. Lovely, that looks pretty good. What do you reckon? Commit? Done. Okay, arrival weather. Winds 360 degrees at 8 knots. Let's pop that in. Outside air temperature is 11 degrees. QNH 1021. And then, what's the runway length? It is short, but it's not that short. 1,947. That's fine, loads of room. You get 777 in there. We'll go for slats flaps 4. We'll go for 5 knot headwind. Or 5 VREF plus 5, sorry, because of the nice little stable headwind that we have. Missed approach for this is fly runway heading to Ganji. And then we're going to head off Ganji 352 degrees, flying over the Newlands NDB, mandatory 3,000 feet, expect radar vectors. Siam Fight, hello, or Slam Fight, sorry mate, I use TAA. So that looks pretty good. Mark, I've said it a fair few times, mate. To be honest with you, over the last couple of, even the release version, it's got a couple of quirks and bugs, but I really like it. I've certainly not had a flight where I've like hated it. The problems that most people are having with the aeroplane is they're not actually bothering to, or they're not able to kind of learn the quirks well enough. A lot of people have dived into it with a massive assumption that it's similar to the A320, and it's nowhere. It's nowhere near the same. It's kind of like a blend of everything. That's the thing. So it's. You have to learn its quirks, you have to learn the differences between the aeroplane from what you're used to, because it's just so different. A couple of bugs that they're working out through though, but that's to be expected. Nothing that ruins your enjoyment of it, I think, to be honest. I really like it, Mark. And you know, if you've watched the channel for a long time, you know I'm pretty brutal with my feedback and my thoughts and my honesty, so... Ollie says, on final I was getting flap warning signs and my flaps were retracting. Any reason for this? Have you got a clash with your keybinds maybe? Pilatus, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Top of descent quite a while yet, so I'm going to launch a poll because it's going to be the easiest way to get an answer from you guys. There you go, vote away, let me know. And then I will change what we set up based on whatever wins. So vote away, let me know. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's kind of a blend of everything. It's a little bit more like the Embraer E190 than it is anything else. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. Which means you've got to go away and really get your head around how different this is compared to even, you know, the A320 or the 737. It's not like either, but it's like both. It's not like either, but it has similarities to both. But they're not in the places you would expect. It's a strange jet, but it's epic because of that learning curve. There's actually something to get your head around, and it looks great. Look at that. Yeah, it's a cracking Qantas livery, isn't it? Look how much detail has gone into that tail. We're about 30 minutes slow, top descent. It's a stunning livery, isn't it? Look at that. That would have taken so much time to complete. The thing is, the aircraft was actually built for RNAV approaches, really. I think that's where it's most at home. Flying those RNAV approaches, I think that's where it's like an effortless process. Whereas the ILS seems to have a few extra steps behind it. It's like, well, for the cinematic views slow, this is parallel 42 chase plane powering all of this, mate. Chase plane is epic, especially the new update with the spotting modes. That's pretty cool. Ollie, there is, mate. Yeah, Flight Sim UK. I did a video on it a little while ago. I'll just go through the channel to try and find it. It's got all the information there, including all the links to the website, so that you can actually book tickets now for it as well. They've got some discounts to the hotels that are there. Get a shareable link. There you go. Go check that out, Ollie. Have a little look. It should be good. Over a weekend in October, so only 2 months away now. I will have actually started a new job literally the week before, which is terrible timing. But yeah, I've got the hotel booked and it's a non-refundable, so I have to go really. Plus it's in the UK, I can't really create too many excuses. I did get asked if I wanted an Osprey Airways stand, but I think I'd rather go and mingle, to be honest, and go and like chat to some of the developers and speak to some people that are attending the event and all that sort of stuff. How do you get just the Sydney airport charts? Oh, it might be called FAC. Well, no, they're not in AIP. So it's on Saturday and the Sunday. It's both days, Ollie. You can either book a ticket for one day, or you can go for both and book a hotel, all that sort of stuff. Sydney Airport, really. That's what I'm looking for. Sydney's like ground charts. But I wonder if Air Services Australia have it locked and you have to pay for it. I can find like en route supplements and things. Look at that fly past, mega. Oh, hold on. AIP book. Aerodrome. No, that's not going to be it. You want the DAP page? Crikey. Yeah, I can't. Oh, hold on. Departures and approach procedures. God, they make this mega difficult, don't they? Because if you know what you're looking for, it's not an issue. Apron chart. I think in Sydney you've got domestic terminals separate to on a different side, haven't you? That's maybe I'll keep it simple. Chofinek. Next question for you. I need charts for Haneda and Rio, Ashley. Where do we find those? I am doing both nights solid. So I've booked the Village Hotel in Bristol for the from Friday night through to Sunday. Patchway Station is the nearest. So change at Bristol Parkway from you live in Didcot. That's mega easy for you. Didcot straight to Bristol. Got a lot of cloud getting built in now. Further up ahead, look. Should be interesting. What's the report of the discontinuity? Because we've got a double gullet. I'm just going to collect Simsy. Execute. And we've got a double Amaga. This is one of the kind of bugs that you have to work through, but they are sorting that out, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. That discontinuity there for the missed approach needs to stay there though. Everything else looks pretty good. We shan't fiddle around too much more. Nice, Scott. I guess you're at a lower level then. Crossing gullets and then pole, see what we're at. Cool, so 56% of you want the ILS, we shall do just that. The other thing we need to set up actually is the minimums, so yeah, we've got very good climb out performance on this. We'll have decision altitude of 300 feet, so I'm going to go tune menu, PFD nav, Barrow, 300. Leave that nav one on auto. James says, do a lot of reviews, thank you. Have you seen or heard anything about Microsoft Working Start 737-800 that just showed up in the marketplace? I'm considering buying it, but I'm afraid it's junk. The question there, mate, is going to be what level of fidelity do you want? How much quality do you want behind the simulation? My other question would be, are you using Xbox, PS5, are you using PC? Because the experience really differs based on what platform you're actually using it on. PC. So in that case, I wouldn't bother with any of those. I wouldn't even bother with the marketplace because the marketplace is an absolute mess. Although unfortunately you can only get this on the marketplace at the moment. What I would recommend instead is go to that website there and buy the PMDG 737-800 instead. And if you buy that in the next basically 2 days, or next 1 day, when you log into your PMDG account, they're running a 29% off sale to celebrate PMDG's 29th birthday as a flight sim company. So do you want to sign in, register for your account? It has PMDG and Just Flight, Jamie. but you're better off buying everything outside the marketplace in reality if you're on PC, because you get updates faster, you get support quicker, you get much better quality stuff, and you're not bogged down with a whole load of gumph. There's so much trash on there that it makes it hard to find the good stuff a lot of the time. You're better off buying scenery from companies like Contrail. You're better off buying products via places like Contrail, Just Flight, PMTG's website directly. Plus the developers get more of the money that way as well if you're buying direct from them. If you're buying from resellers like Contrail, you get the updates the second they're on the server. You don't have to wait a week or two for the Microsoft update process to complete before you can download the latest version, and all that sort of stuff. If you've never used Contrail before, Jamie, then in the description below there's a link to Contrail, and there's also a 10% off code there, so go and shop around, have a little look, then use that 10% off code if you're going to buy a load of stuff like the Just Flight Fokkers, which are amazing, a load of scenery. You can buy it all via Contrail and get 10% off. One time only though, so use it wisely. I hear they have the PMTG 7378 no winglets now with the latest update. I think that was a mod, mate. No, Jamie Gray, I'm not dismissing it. What I'm saying is if you want a better all-rounded package, then the important thing would be to look at PMDG. But I think you're locking yourself into the marketplace for buying all of your add-ons. And that's the mistake a lot of people are making. Don't forget there are a lot of add-ons that are not on the marketplace, full stop. The marketplace really is designed for people flying on Xbox or PS5 to buy their add-ons, not a lot of the higher fidelity stuff, including the Leonardo Mad Dog MD-80s, for example, one of the deepest system depth of aeroplane you can get. That's not available on there at all. So the point I'm trying to make more widely is look broader than just the marketplace. If you want to go ahead and buy the Sobo working title 737-800, fine, go for it, but it's not going to be the same as the PMTG 787. It's going to fly like a default aircraft, which will be okay because working title have had a say in it. They're pretty good, but it's not going to be like a true 737-800 experience by any means. Not when you compare it against the 737 PMTG. And it's not designed to be that. It's designed to be a more optimized, simpler version, no doubt, for console users. So if you're on PC, I would say go for the best product you can get. If you're looking at a number of products for the same thing, that's my personal opinion anyway. You don't have to agree. You can go and buy what you want. Top of descent. There's our little warning. Let's get it wound down. And I'm going to set 2000 for continuous descent. VNav, nav mode, FMS speeds. Just make sure we're in the right modes for that. Good. Ollie, good question. Horizon's 787, by the way. I don't know if you've been following their Instagram. They've been working with Hughes on some amazing textures, has to be said. But it looks like there's a massive update to the Horizon Sim 787 coming out fairly soon. So I would probably, and bear in mind, I think the Horizon Sim 787 is freeware, isn't it? I'd probably say hold on for that. Again, the Bravo Airspace 787 is very much designed to target console simmers. There we go. VNav path.
Overspeed.
Not yet. We're just riding the barber pole. Okay, good. That's sorted itself out. It was on the edge. well into IMC. Actually, that's a real good reminder. Anti-ice. So that's ticked in on auto. FMS is set, minimum is set. Auto brake, we'll go for auto brake low with some manual brakes to smooth it out. ICAS and arrival briefing is already completed. Lovely. That'll be the performing landing check. So over the South Island of New Zealand now. How do you make the second screen large on the first officer's side? I can switch the captain one using the switch below and using the inbound display. Look at this. No little stand as such, Ollie. You're just going to be... I mean, look how realistic that looks. Superb. I'm just going to be mooching. Into a lot of pea soup. And I'll just tick map like there, if that makes sense. So as long as you've got this one here set to L and you click map, you're going to get that there. You can also load up the charts, which is what I like to do. And it will take what's in your FMS and it will give you that. So you can like have a real good look. That's my favourite feature of this jet. Because look how much situational awareness we now have. We've got primary flight display, terrain radar, engine instrumentation, charts. There's a little zoom, a little plus and minus down here, look. You just tick those, you press those accordingly. That I think has to be probably my favourite feature on the aeroplane. I think it's pretty cool. I've always noticed as well that doesn't move. I would always like to have seen that kind of move along with the progress of our flight. But hey ho, we can't have it all, can we? Sync FMS, sync sim brief. Low order brakes, manual reversers. Compute, it's probably going to say no. It wants high auto brake, which is fine, we're going to have manual braking anyway. Nate, welcome. Welcome to the channel, hope you're doing well. How do you make it cover both? You mean the charts? CTAF NZWN. No, CTAF frequency was found for Wellington. Ah. So just press right. Data. That's what you mean, right? Because you've got to remember that this one here controls these two displays here. Left screen, display unit 2, where my map is, and then the right screen. But the first officer's one is controlled from this panel here. Is that pretty cool, right? Look at this weather. No worries. Starting now. There's New Zealand down below. I do need to change the time a little bit, don't I? Stand by. Just to... with what we wanted to have. Honestly, the simulator does my head in sometimes, the way it bugs out. Oh, we're about there, isn't it? Like a sunset. It is winter down under. That, I think, down there would have been Nelson. Where's my Elevatex? Still got that zoomed in on. Oh no, Nelson's behind us, sorry. That was Picton down below. And down here, Port Underwood. Cloudy Bay. Rather apt. Right, seatbelt signs. Logo lights. Transition. QNH 1021. Make sure that's set as well. 1021. Okay. Bottom beat set checked. Landing gear is going to go down soon. Cabin secure. Flaps will be indicating. We're going to go flap 4 for the approach. Zoom on in again. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's cool. It's a very, very cool feature. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will have the ability to get the A220 via iniBuilds rather than just the marketplace. That would certainly be good. Right, look at that. It's like some weird little layer that we're in. You know what, actually, I know what it's probably fighting. Not weather. I reckon it's fighting, yeah, parallel 4-2. Let's go a bit darker, because then you can see how great these are. What the chuffing heck was that? Ah, for goodness sake. The emissives are great, but honestly, what is it doing to us? There's clearly an issue with GS, with Parallel 4.2 Flow Pro. Whoa, it didn't like that, did it? There we go. Changing the weather. It didn't like that at all. Thank goodness we're not on New Sky. Right, 1021, that's all good. Reducing our speed now. We've got another decel point coming out of meter, and we're going to be on the approach really fast. Wellington traffic, QNH 281, Airbus A220 abound to QNH 1021. It's currently flying direct meter, approximately 7 miles to the west of Meader, inbound for the ILS runway 34 approach via Umaga transition. Wellington traffic. No, you can't transfer this aircraft just yet, but it will come. Right, let's focus. Focus, focus, focus. So that's the other thing, Ollie, there, look. See that? We have our little aeroplane icon, look, showing us exactly where we are, which is really great. Yeah, it's such a great aircraft.
Wellington traffic, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, fully established runway 34.
We've got some great separation today.
Wellington.
Some real low vis. Need the speed brake back out. Look at that, Sim GFX. That's some incredible graphics there. And look how nice this this cabin environment is. I mean, realistically now that should be dim for dark, like dark for landing, but we'll let them off. It's not a cabin simulation; it's a flight sim. Okay, meter. Look at this weather. There's Wellington. It's starting to come in. It's such an incredible scenery, this flying around here. There's Ian. You can see his lights. So I'm going to come out of VNAV. No, you don't. FMS speed mode. Right, now we go to manual speed. There's the airfield.
Wellington, traffic, Osprey 3 Yankee Oscar, short final, runway 34, 4 miles, Wellington.
Warning of a mode change. Actually, you have to use max auto brake now. Sorry, spoiler. Let's just disregard that. Approach mode armed. Disregard. Straight to flap 2. Just got to keep slowing down. So we're coming in hot, and we're going to have to try and slow it down as fast as we can. Spoilers could just go to the out position now. We're riding B&E. Wellington traffic. QantasLink 281's established ILS 234 to land. Get rid of the VSD. We get that full screen going on. Okay, approach FMS 1. Block 1's active. Autopilot's got enough capture on for the glide slope. Do you notice it's got a little bit sideways here? I'm actually going to go to heading mode. Right, I'm just going to go to nav blue lock 1 approach mode. Disregard. Glide slopes alive, gear down. Right. So this is what they need to improve the most, is the ILS, because it's a little bit troublesome at times. 35142, but nothing you can't get your head around. Just gonna go flat 3, forward degree. Let's go flat 3. Final approach speed. It's not done this one very well at all, has it? Look. Now we've gone really offset to the other side. Autopilot R5 control. And flight in. Not a happy ILS system on this jet. Just going to change our little trim bug. Christ almighty. Cool. Right, we're winning. Here's down 3 green. Flaps 4 green indicating. I feel like I'm really fighting this.
Approaching minimums. 300.
Whoa, sync rate. Correcting. It's just about to go around then. We've got it. Looking ahead.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse green. There's the QantasLink. Qantas broccoli. $70 knots. And at 60 knots-ish there, look. The throttles automatically go to reverse idle. Just something for you to bear in mind. And yeah, if you get an ILS like that, it could be the aircraft, it could be the scenery. I'd have to go and double check, triple check these things just to be sure. If you do get a situation like that, then just turn the autopilot off and hand fly it in. We just about made it work. Just about to go around though. We got a bit unstable there. Wellington traffic, Unit 281's vacating via Alpha 2, taxiing Alpha to the terminal. Ah, boo. I was hoping we were going to get some decent little views there. Maybe we'll try this time. There we go, that's better. It looks cracking, doesn't it? Even at night, and the emissives are really good. Let's get them strobes off. Was I the last one in? I think I might have been. Right, strobes off. We can put up our little charts here, look, see where we're going. Oh, that's a question. Where are we parking? I'll go in here, down Bravo. That's Badger, I think at 26, 25. Oh, he's at 25. That says 21 on the floor though. Okay, that says 25. Got you. Oh, no, it's Zulu 1. Got it. Go for that one. 23, I think I've just selected. Oh, it's 22. That noise. Phenomenal. Scott, no worries, buddy. Have a good one. Thanks for flying along. Hope you've enjoyed the route today. Naturally, as always, big thank you to all of you, wherever you are in the world, for tuning in, taking part, flying along, joining us in the live chat. All the good stuff. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let's get on that centre line a little bit more. Parked. Hey, look how good that is. You could even just go like into this one. Airport info. This one doesn't let you go full screen because what you have to do is send the engine data across here, I think, from memory. Oh look, MFW's crashed. yeah, you can swap the displays and all that sort of stuff. So you can go to like full screen, data, and then write data, airport info, and then when you're taxiing in here, you can just have it up in front of you like that instead, which is really cool. Right, engine 2, engine 1. Good. I just had that mild panic that I'd not turned that off. Beacon lights come off, that's all good. Seatbelt signs come off. And we're gonna disembark. There we go, flight time of about 3.5 hours with the Synaptic Simulations / iniBuilds Airbus A220 for Microsoft Flight Simulator on the VATSIM network. Big thank you to VATPack for joining us in Brisbane for some full departure ATC coverage up to departures, which is really great. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks everyone for flying along. And earlier on, Ollie, thank you for your super chat earlier, and Paul as well, very generous of you folks. Appreciate the support as always from all of our channel members wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to go to BritishAvGeek.com, check out the all of the tutorials on the channel as always, but more importantly, the new route map for our Osprey Airways schedules that we've launched. So go check all of those out, get all the liveries from the website as well, all in one place. But whatever you're doing over the next few days, I hope you have a great one. I'm off to go and watch MotoGP tomorrow for the very first time at Silverstone, and I'm riding the GS there, so I'm very excited for that. It's going to be pretty cool for a whole day. I'll let you know how it goes in Discord. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.